Charlie, I have some bad news.
Uh-oh.
I have some bad news for you.
All right.
We're stuck on a desert island.
Again?
Yeah, again. We're stuck. This happens like every Tuesday. It's seriously a problem.
We should stay off of these planes.
Seriously. Well, Charlie, so I am Danielle Riendo, and I'm joined here by Charlie Hall, and we are looking at Dyscourse, a brand new game from Alchemy Labs, the folks who made Smuggle Truck not too long ago, I guess 4 or 5 years ago or so. And this is a character, I guess not quite character action game, but maybe you could call it sort of a character-based 2D game where you are playing as Rita here. She just found a frying pan, a survivor of a plane crash on a desert island. So here is our first sort of encounter, a little action encounter. We're finding other survivors here, and they're sort of telling us, oh no, there are crabs surrounding us, it's a serious issue, and I have to make a decision very soon. Like, what do I say to this?
Okay.
Do I help these people, or do I just tell them to go away, basically? This entire game is predicated on making decisions that will mean, sort of life or death on this goofy little island. So right now I have to decide, do I scare them? Do I scare the crabs? Do I go near one of these guys or the other guy? Looks like I was successful in scaring them away, but now they're chewing up Teddy.
Oh
here.
no!
Yeah, poor Teddy. I feel a little bad for Teddy here, but I chose Steve.
Only one can survive.
Only one can survive. So I have been enjoying this game quite a bit so far. Basically,
tell
go
me
ahead.
this though.
Yes.
So you say it's a story-based or a character-based survival game.
Yes.
Is this like more of an adventure game, or is this more of like a survival game, like a Don't Starve kind of thing, or is this?
So this
help me narrow down on this a little
absolutely. So the way I like to sort of describe this is almost as if it's kind of an adventure game. It's a little bit like The Walking Dead.
Okay.
In terms of most of what you're doing is making decisions in conversation trees. There are some little action sequences, like we saw a little bit earlier with the crabs and the frying pan. But for the most part, I'm talking to these people, and I'm deciding who to help or who to tell what to do. So right here, I'm getting to know some of these other folks.
Okay, now are these people that you've kind of accumulated through your adventures?
No, this is the very beginning of the game. So I am just like learning these people's names. That's Jolene. She's introducing me to George, her husband. That's Garrett, the gamer. He's a gamer. That's they complain about him playing games the whole time, basicly. Nobody knows who we are.
I like that he gives his handle straight away. Like, you might know me as Nebulord.
Exactly. It's all of the writing in this game is kind of cute like that. So this is basically, I like to think of this as almost like Walking Dead if it were really cute and sort of cartoonish and cutesy. Oh, and a boar just ran away with our pretzels. That's our entire food supply.
Oh,
the pretzels from the plane. Seriously a problem. I also love the audio design. It's almost like Banjo-Kazooie when the characters would talk a little burr-burr-burr-burr. That's what they're all kind of saying.
A little Simlish there.
Yeah, a little bit of Simlish.
So when I think plane crash, Danielle, the other
yes.
thing that I think is lost.
Yes.
So is there any kind of bizarre metaphysical thing going on here? Like how
yes.
off? Oh, there is.
There kind of is. There's a lot of sort of lost references. We're on a desert island. Our plane crashed. Nobody really knows what's going on. But Teddy, so he's the guy in the sort of upper left who seems really disconcerted. He is paranoid. He thinks this is a government conspiracy and that aliens are here and all sorts of other things. So he really thinks that there's a very lost-ish, bizarre, sort of undertone to what's going on here. Nobody else thinks so. Oh, here's an action sequence right here. I had to decide to whether to run away or to fight that boar. And I
and it
fought
happens
that boar.
like right like that. You got to make your decision right away,
does.
huh?
You really got to make those snap decisions. So I think that kind of mechanic almost seems a little bit lifted out of Walking Dead. When you have those really quick decisions that you have to make. But this game could have been, other than the sort of little action-y bits, could have basically been a Twine game. I believe it's basically just a big branching storyline, and you can get, there are probably dozens of endings and permutations that the story can take. I remember the first time I played it, there was death by panther, and I lost about 4 party members to a vicious panther.
Oh, Lord.
It was rough. But yeah, at the end of every day, so you go through your days, at the end of every day, you basically have this little sequence where you grab a torch and you kind of go over to the area where you're going to sleep, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, and here's Steve trying to protect our pretzels by putting them in a suitcase. It's very cute. So here's me grabbing a torch, and I'm going over to the little tent area that the other survivors have made while I was sort of waking up on the beach.
Oh, that's such a sad little tent.
It is really sad looking. And I sort of have time on the torch to talk to 3 people, I think. So I get to kind of decide whose perspective I want to hear about the day from. And Teddy is the paranoid guy on the left, and then there's Steve, the sort of depressed guy. There's Garrett the gamer, Jolene, who's kind of a gung-ho lady, and George, her husband, who's kind of a gung-ho guy. Yeah, so I decided to talk to Teddy and talk about this government's conspiracy that he feels is going on, basically. I have to say, I really like the writing, even though it's a little on the nose at times, but it kind of suits this style of game, this very kind of cute, colorful take on a survival game, basically.
I'm only like 5 or 6 minutes into watching you play it, but already I feel kind of a connection. Like I want to take care of each and every one of these little people that are on this island with me for various reasons.
Yeah, and I think the art style actually really helps with that. I was thinking about how this benefits from basically not being just a text adventure, even though that's the bulk of the gameplay is text-based. And I think the art style goes a long way in that. These people are very cute, they're very warm. I immediately cared about them, even Garrett the gamer who talks in cliches, you know. Oh, yes, I have a little bit left on the torch, so one more chat.
I am hoping that there is a moment for Garrett, like where he just comes out of his shell and like talks like a real person for a minute. I want to see each of these little characters evolve. I'm so excited. They
absolutely do over the course of however many days you survive, basically. And you can win, quote unquote. You can. Okay. I won't spoil anything, but there is a win condition, or at least multiple win conditions, depending on what you do. And there are various events that happen. There are storms, there are attacks by animals, there's sort of all sorts of things that come up that require you to think quickly and attempt to think intelligently about your situation, basically.
Can you tell me more about like the scope of the environments here? So far we've moved maybe 100 feet
yeah,
from left to right. Do you get much further onto the island?
You certainly do.
Oh, okay.
In fact, you can go all the way to the other side of the island.
Oh, wow.
Not that you necessarily do that in real time, but there are quite a few little environments here to check out. And I think I actually, in a couple of minutes here, I skip ahead a little bit to show you another environment and sort of a little more action, quote-unquote, gameplay, where you're searching the actual place itself. We made it through the first night alive, and here I skipped ahead, just like I was saying. We're searching for water here in this little section. So you can basically talk to characters in these little sections. You can look at the environment. I wouldn't quite call it puzzle gameplay, because it's all pretty straightforward. But it's a little bit more point-and-click adventure style in these sections. Just another crack in the dusty ground.
I'm getting like a strong kind of Sierra vibe from this now.
Yeah, it absolutely is kind of like that. And again, I really love the art style in this game. The environments look pretty wacky in a very colorful and very sort of friendly way. Which you don't always see with survival games.
Oh yeah, no, survival games are often like hopelessly, grimly realistic. Like they really stuck with their art style here. Earlier there was like a pentagonal frying pan, which looked like a dreidel. I thought that was great.
It's really good stuff. So we found some water. This almost looks like a Ren and Stimpy planet or something at this point. And Rita, who is the central character that I'm playing as here, she's a young woman, just out of college, I think, and she talks a lot about sort of the art assets. At times she says things like, oh, this looks like a surrealist painting, blah, 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 that, I got a C in my class. My professor didn't get it. It's kind of cute. She makes fun of the art, basically, which is nice in a game like this. Oh, yeah, Garrett's freaking out. He got a leech on him.
Oh dear.
Oh, no. Oh. Garrett has a little bump on his head. And another cute thing about the art, when the characters basically get damaged or get hurt, you start to see that on them. See, his shirt is a little ripped up. He has a bump on his head. It's kind of a cartoonish and sort of adorable way of showing, hey, these people are taking some wear and tear in their kind of awful circumstances.
Have you lost a character yet, Danielle?
Oh, I've lost almost every character from one playthrough or another.
We have this endearing art style. We have these cuddly little characters. Like, it's got to be terrible to lose one of them.
It's really sad, and it happens very suddenly sometimes as well.
How does the game deal with, though, like character death? Like, what are the effects of losing someone?
Well, it certainly shows up when you finish the game, how many people you finish the game with, basically, and you kind of get like a little survival stats of where someone died and how they died, that kind of thing. And it affects the entire group, and it affects the story. You know, if people aren't there anymore, there's kind of a lot of sadness, and people get blamed for a death, that sort of thing. So it actually is fairly organic in the way it all kind of comes together. Which is awesome. So that's probably around the end of our little time here with Dyscourse. Thank you so much, Charlie, for joining me on this.
No worries. I'm excited to get a chance to see it.
Absolutely. Very cool little adventure game, Dyscourse, spelled Dyscourse, and I believe this is out now on Steam.